We have a
So I
code.
chose the Fire Brigades Union, partly because it's fairly topical, but also because my dad is a fireman and a member. So that's what the union rulebook states is the Fire Brigades. The Fire Brigade Union's guiding aim, but in practice it has 5 clear aims. The first one, which is probably more of an insider aim, is to give firefighters a voice, which helps improve fire and rescue services. To allow the expertise of members to be heard in government and at local, national and international levels. So again, they're fairly similar. Protect the safety and interests of its members, which is probably more of an, if you can classify aims as more of an outsider aim. It's not about consulting with government. Improve working conditions and protect members from discrimination. And to help members develop by developing new and improving existing skills. So I'll leave that up for a minute. In terms of campaigning methods, direct action, obviously the most famous example is strikes, and in particular the ones that have happened recently, but also protests, in particular the public sector protests that happened recently, the Fire Brigades Union has been involved with. Lobbying, before the recent vote on pension reforms, members were encouraged to lobby their MP in their surgery, and individual groups of members visited Parliament to try and lobby various MPs. As I said, it's primarily an outsider group, so it doesn't use too many parliamentary methods, but as you can see there, Ed Miliband was persuaded to use his power as leader of the opposition to schedule a debate before the vote on pension reform. And partly in line with direct action, mobilising public opinion is used because, say, a demonstration or a strike ensures the media will be talking about an issue and the public become more aware of it. In terms of fundraising, it's primarily union membership fees, some of which is given to the political fund, which was also saved on by breaking 2004's affiliation with the Labour Party. So they're no longer, whereas some unions give X amount of money to the Labour Party, the Fire Brigades Union chooses not to. They collect donations, often in, say if someone's been a firefighter with their life, they might leave some money in their will to the union, or they accept public donations and hold fundraising events. There's also encouraged people to donate not directly to the union, but to things like the Firefighters Charity and the Benevolent Fund that helps injured firefighters. And the best example I could find of celebrity support, Russell Brand headlined their Ring of Fire anti-cuts events. And he spoke about the dispute when he appeared on Question Time. So the 2002 strike is probably an example of success, because the union, though they didn't get what they aimed for, they got a fairly substantial pay rise, and Shane linked to that categorisation of the work that they did. And even the recent strikes, which were unsuccessful, have drawn certain compromises with the government, so haven't been a complete failure. And quite often the union wins compensation from either from the brigade or can be from third parties. So say if you're injured in a fire as a result of bad workmanship, or if a member is injured in a fire as a result of bad workmanship, the union can pay legal fees and challenge it in court and get them compensation for that. In terms of failures, as I said earlier, the recent industrial action was probably still unsuccessful because the reforms were passed. And this was despite not only strike action but fairly intense campaigning and quite a lot of media coverage. In the past there have been various quite damaging headlines about people high up in the union and misusing expenses, and in particular the example there of Andy Gilchrist, who was the previous leader. He's not the current leader. And that's Andy Gilchrist there.